Hi and welcome back. Today I'm here with Manpreet Joshi and she is from SIA Immigration Solutions and she's here today to talk a little bit about the international student admissions and visa. So hi, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good and thank you so much for coming back and talking to us today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So can you, to start off, just give us a brief overview of the International Student Admission and Visa College Change Visitor Short?
Yes. So first we're going to start with the international student admissions and visas.
Okay.
So international students, as we know, these are potential students who are looking to get admitted into the Canadian colleges and universities and get a visa and come here. International student program has developed a lot over time. Right now, there are a number of international students in Canada. There is a whole lot of activity going on. They sometimes change schools. So first, we're going to talk about the first part, that when they apply from overseas. Okay. What are the factors that they can take into consideration when they're applying from overseas? There are a couple of things that are first. It's not always about the visa filing process. The admission process is equally crucial because if you get into the right school, the right program at the right time, your visa will go more smoothly.
Okay.
So that can involve doing some research, like what kind of studies you've done previously.
Right.
Are you choosing the similar program, or even that doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot go for a different program. It can be a little bit aligned to your studies, but you can also go for a little bit different program as long as you have a reasoning and as long as your consultant or you yourself or whoever is helping you to apply know how to represent it.
Okay.
It can also be related to the recent job that you've done.
Okay.
And most of the times it has seen that students, whenever they're looking to get an offer letter from Canadian school, or you can say the Canadian college or university, they seem to be in a little bit of rush. They're more likely go into, okay, this consultant told me that you're gonna get offer letter in like 2 days. I'm gonna get and apply for my visa.
Right.
That is more into if you're changing a school within Canada, that is different versus you're applying from overseas. When you're applying from overseas, you must do a whole lot of homework. Ask questions to your agent. Ask them, okay, which area, which province, which field, which skill can give me an easier permanent residency.
Right. Yeah.
Ask yourself, why am I going? Where should I go? When should I go? How should I apply? How this is going to transit to permanent residency.
Right.
Don't just take an offer letter and rush into visa applying.
Yeah.
I wanted to share a short experience. I had a couple of years ago, I was on an India visit. I met a client and she has consulted us for the student visa. And we have advised her that the next intake is not available in any public school. Most of the seats are full, so we advise you to the intake next to if that was January. And then I'm gonna keep it short. So then she came. She called me after a couple months, and she was already in Canada. And I told her, didn't we tell you that there was no school available? How did you come? She said, no, I found out a private school and I just quickly applied and quickly got the visa. I'm quickly here. Now I want to change.
No.
I said, yes, you can still change. But look at the amount of time you're gonna waste now, right? So it's a good idea if you plan ahead.
Yeah.
So if you talk to somebody, or even if you have a friend or family who's helping, make sure they have a thorough knowledge of what they're doing.
100%.
A lot of time it's sort of people don't pay much attention that it is that much detail to choose a school and apply for the right offer letter. No, not just rushing in to get an offer letter. Yes.
Yeah, that homework is very important. Can you provide an overview of the current situation regarding transferring colleges within Canada for international students?
Yes. So when, like an example I gave.
Yes.
Of course, now she has done it. It's fine. Now she's here. Now, don't if your goal is to get PGWP in Canada and transit it to permanent residency, then it is even more crucial to choose the right school.
Right.
Because all schools are not providing PGWPs. Of course, most of the Canadian schools, be it private, be it public, has a very good educational system. We can't question that. But it's very individual choice that, okay, I want 3-year PGWP, the postgraduate work permit, or 2-year or 1 year, whatever your requirement is. So I should choose the right school based on that. So now if you've done that mistake, like the girl did, you're in a school that's not giving you a PGWP, then you must change before it's too late. And changing school within Canada is not a problem from immigration.
Okay.
So a lot of times students has this question, can I change? Will that impact my future immigration applications? Will that impact my permanent residency? No. It may just, if you're in a school that's not giving you PGWP, or that's that you're into a program that's not giving you some sort of skill that you want, changing school will actually make the situation easier for you.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah, so it's gonna make it easier. And when you're changing, there are again certain factors that you need to be careful on. Okay. Now here, when you're changing, here it's opposite to when you're applying. Here you cannot delay. There, do your homework, talk to a couple consultants, ask questions, ask your consultant all the questions you have when you're initially applying from your home country. But when you're changing within Canada, of course, you should still do your homework, but here you cannot delay. Because the more you delay, the more you are delaying your new program starting date that you're going to start, and the seats may fill up. So here you need to be a little bit proactive. And so one point in changing school is don't delay too much. If you have change in mind, get started working on it. And second point is, when you change, you must change your DLI. And if you change with somebody, like if you change with us, our professionals know that you must change your DLI with IRCC. So a lot of times students has a question, do I need to change my study permit? Do I need to apply another study permit in Canada if I change school? No. You just change your designated learning institute number with IRCC. And if you change it with us, we know how to change it, and this service comes at no cost when you get admission through us to the school, and we don't charge anything in most cases for admissions as well. Both of the services, getting admission to a new school, if you're changing a school in Canada, and changing your DLI is free of cost from us.
Amazing, awesome. Can you tell me, how straightforward is the process of converting a visitor visa to a study permit in Canada?
That's a very interesting question, because in Canada, if you're on a certain status and you're changing in between the statuses, it's quite easy. For an example, if you're changing between between visitor to worker and you have LMIA job offer, the process of applying new work permit in Canada is quite easier. But when you're a visitor in Canada and trying to change to the student, it's not that easier. It's probably harder compared to the other interstatus changes. So in this, you must have a very specific program. You can't just go and pick any program and change your status from visitor to student. This has to be very specific, and your agent or anybody who's helping you, a friend or family member, must know how to do it. This is not a simpler application. So they must know where to get you admitted, how to apply this application, and once you get approved, what are the next steps? Because it's not just ends at approval. Like if you're getting a work permit, you have LMIA, you apply, it gets approved, it ends. No, once you get approved, then you may have to change again in order to get eligible for PGWP, because sometimes it's hard for you to change your visitor status to a study permit and getting your favorite course both at the same time. You may have to adjust with the program a little bit, and then once you have the permit, you will get the more liberty to extend it, go into the different programs. So there has to be a whole lot of plan that should be discussed with an expert before you convert your visitor visa to the study permit. But this is a very good option. Again, this is a little bit tricky, but it's a very, very good option if you are visiting Canada as a visitor, and if you're looking to stay here longer.
Amazing! Wow, really good to know. So now, what key advice would you offer to international students who are considering applying for a study visa to Canada?
Okay, so as we have discussed this previously, so if you're applying, do not rush. Do not rush. Do your homework.
course.
And make sure you get the right offer letter, make sure you have the right homework done, make sure you're coming to a program that is eligible for PGWP, and look at the Canadian economy and skills and what they're looking for. For an example, they're looking for a number of construction workers, they're looking for healthcare people. So try to focus into the programs the trades programs that can get you into a decent career in Canada that will eventually lead to permanent residency if your goal is to get permanent residence.
Right.
And going back to that, we were talking about the visitor to changing to the student. I wanted to add one more crucial point that I forgot, is that English language requirements. They can be very different, and they can be quite easier versus you're applying from overseas.
Right.
So overseas, if you're applying as a student visa, we may need to meet the CLB7, the 6H in IELTS, or other language tests, a certain score. In Canada, if you're changing from visitors to student, that can be quite easier, and sometimes you can even avoid giving an English exam in certain circumstances. For that, you have to, of course, talk to an expert, and they'll clarify in more detail.
Amazing. Okay. How do short-term programs such as ECEA, healthcare assistant, and pharmacy assistant courses benefit international students in terms of career prospects and their path towards obtaining permanent residency in Canada, which you did touch on a little bit, but...
Yes. So as we've talked, as I was talking, that if you're applying from overseas, choose a program that will give you a skill set, that will bring you to the right job market, that will make you job ready. Now, a lot of times, students, they've already graduated and they didn't do this. Now the question is, I have 3-year permit, but I've just done a business program, but I do not have this skill set. What can I do now? Now, here's the thing. You can still upgrade your skills. You can still learn new skills, because there are some short-term programs available that you can do even on your work permit.
Oh wow, amazing.
And you can contact us for admission into those. We again don't charge any fee for that. So these programs, for example, Early Childhood Educator Assistant, they are in high demand in BC. They are in high demand in most provinces actually, but in BC, yes. And then you can get in BC you need a license. But the process of getting Early Childhood Educator Assistant license is quite short, and it doesn't require a very very longer study or any hard licensing exams or stuff. So you can do a short-term program that can be actually a few weeks, and you can get this licensing done.
Oh, that's good.
And similarly with the healthcare aid, and there are a number of other programs. So if you haven't done this when you initially doing your student visa from overseas, however, I highly emphasize that if you're still doing your student visa from overseas, explore these programs. But if you haven't done, you have this option. And even if the program is a little bit longer in length, in June 2023, IRCC released that there is, like now if you're on PGWP or any kind of work permit, you can still study longer programs.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, yes. So you can still study longer programs, and then you can, kind of upgrade your skills and get into these kind of jobs that will eventually help in easy permanent residency and also a potential good stable career in Canada.
Right, wow, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. That was all amazing and crucial information to know. Thanks for coming on and talking with us again.
Thank you. So if you guys need any further information, regarding overseas student visa, if you're planning to come to Canada, I think that's the best point to start, because then you can make it wrong because you've a lot of time to planning. And or if you are looking into changing the school, or if you're a visitor in Canada and looking to convert your visitor visa to study permit, give us a call or book an appointment. We're happy to help.
For more information, you can contact SIA Immigration directly, or you can visit their website, siaimmigration.com. Otherwise, at the end of the video, I'm going to display all the information that's needed. There's phone numbers, emails, links to the website. Thank you guys so much for watching, and go check out their website.